Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to film a video as it has just marked 6 months since I got my septum pierced. I'm cringy, so I wanted to film this on the actual day it's like 6 months old, so it's the most accurate it can be. As you can tell by the title, this is my septum piercing 6-month update. Looks like I haven't changed the jewellery because this jewellery is what I was wearing in my first video about it, but I change it like every day. But anyway, this remains my favourite piercing, and I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted to see an update video. I did a video about my septum piercing just after I got it done, and a lot of you guys liked it, so I thought might be nice to do an updated one, now that I've gone through the healing process and it's like fully healed. The kids next door have decided to have a tantrum at this point. Try and ignore that. Anyway, I asked you guys on Instagram for some questions. You gave me a lot of different ones. Okay, so question number 1 is, have you had a longer healing time because you switched to jewellery so often, or any complications? I think I probably prolonged the healing a little bit. Septum piercings I think take between 3 to 6 months to fully heal, and at 6 months I can say it is like fully healed or pretty much fully healed, like I don't have any problems with it anymore, so no, I don't think so. But if I would have left it in place for longer, it probably would have healed quicker. How easy was it to change your jewellery? At first it was a little bit sore and it was kind of hard to do, which made me realise that it was not healed yet and I couldn't change it properly yet. So I left it a little bit longer before I started like frequently changing it, but now I can change it nice and easily because it moves really freely, so I can easily get new jewellery in, and yeah, it doesn't hurt to change. If I change it like a few times in a row, it can be a bit uncomfortable, but I try to avoid that. Next question is, what's your favourite type of jewellery to wear in your septum? I definitely like wearing a normal silver horseshoe or a silver like segment ring, just like a full hoop. They're my favourite types. I don't really wear anything too extravagant. Sometimes I wear a crystal horseshoe, or a lot of you guys have complimented my little rainbow gay pride septum ring, which is from Body Candy, by the way. I get a lot of questions. I have a whole bag of septum rings. It's literally next to me. This is not all septum rings actually. Some of these are like tongue bars. But this is my body jewellery. I have a lot of options, but I tend to stick to like my favourite ones most. Do you find there's stigma? People give me weird looks and stuff, especially at work. Not so much for me because I do online schooling, so it's not like something I get judged for at school, and my friends and the community I'm like involved with, I don't think judge me for it because you're all very similar to me. Family might judge it a bit, I don't really know. I don't really care. How did you convince your mum to let you? I really want one. I didn't have to convince her too much because my mum's quite open to me kind of expressing myself. My septum piercing is definitely not one of her favourites. She doesn't like it on me. She doesn't like it on anyone. She's just not a fan of them, which is fair enough because not every piercing is for everyone, but she knows that I like it and that I feel happy with it, so she lets me keep it in. I think she knew that if I didn't get it done professionally, I would have done it myself, and she didn't want me doing that, so she let me do it professionally. What was the healing process like? It was simple. The pain went away pretty quick. It didn't have many like flare-ups where it got really sore and irritated or anything. Yeah, it wasn't really hard to heal. The majority of like the slightly more sore healing process was over pretty quick. Is it safe to pierce your septum yourself? Now, I wouldn't recommend doing it. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily unsafe, but if you want it to look good, septum is a hard one to get like perfectly straight and in a good place in your nose, so it's definitely one that I would recommend going to a professional for. I really want to get my septum pierced, but I'm scared it won't suit me. I get a lot of people say this to me actually. I didn't know if it would suit me either, but if I didn't like it and I took it out, there wouldn't be like any visible scar. Like, it's literally just one, if I didn't want it suddenly, then I'd just take it out, and like, because it's inside your nose, like the scar will be invisible. It's not really a big commitment. I say try it because otherwise you're going to keep thinking, will it suit you, will it not? What age would you recommend to do this? Any age that you want it, but I would say probably no younger than maybe like 14. I don't know, because it's a facial piercing. I know people get like side nostril and stuff, but I think septum's a little bit more out there than a nostril piercing. It's definitely becoming more common, but yeah, I mean, I'm not one to judge. I'd probably say maybe 13 youngest. This person said how much did it hurt and that they have a cartilage piercing, so like compared to that, cartilage hurts more, but it's a more unusual pain. I'd say it's pretty equal to like what my helix was like. It's not painful, but for me it was quite a sharp pain, so I kind of like felt quite uncomfortable having it done, but it wasn't anything like too much. Everyone's different. What was it like to have a piercing on your nose? Was it weird? It wasn't weird as such, but the clamp that goes up your nose to have it pierced is kind of weird. Kind of makes you look like a pig, but it's only up there for a few minutes whilst it's being pierced, and then you have a cool piercing, so who cares? This is a very commonly asked question. Does it smell sometimes? I've never noticed a bad smell from it. You can kind of feel and tell when it needs like a little bit of a clean or a freshen up, but it's not smelly. Even when it was healing, I didn't smell it. Favourite thing about the septum piercing? I just think it looks really cool, and like, It's definitely a versatile piercing. You can wear like something a bit more heavy metal and cool, or something a bit more like dainty and pretty. Yeah, I just like how different you can make it look and how much freedom you have with it. My face looks weird without it to me now, so it's like a part of me, but yeah, I just love it so much. Weird question, but does it hurt when you have a cold or when you blow your nose? Not a weird question at all. A lot of people wonder this. It's actually not as bad as a nostril piercing to blow your nose with. I found that harder to blow my nose with, because whenever I blew my nose, it would like get caught on it and pull it. Whereas with a septum, like if I blow my nose, it doesn't hurt. And because it's in the middle of your nose, like your nostrils can still push against it and it doesn't really feel uncomfortable. When it was healing, I got a cold like I think a month after I had it pierced. That was really uncomfortable. I couldn't blow my nose properly because it was healing, so it was still like sore and a little bit stiff. So trying to blow your nose with it was not the easiest. But now that it's healed, like I can blow my nose easily. I do find if I have a cold or bad hay fever and I'm blowing it constantly, it can make it a little bit irritated and sore, but if you're just blowing your nose like a couple of times a day, it's not going to affect it. How many times did you change it? I have no idea. I change it like every day. I just try not to overchange it. What's the pain like compared to a lobe piercing? I'd say it's like a little bit worse, but it's nothing like too crazy. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did it hurt? For me, I'd say about a 4. Do you think it looks good on everyone? I don't think any piercing looks good on everyone, but I just think it depends on if it makes you feel good and confident, because like some people think it looks stupid on me, and I've seen some on people that I'm like, but it doesn't matter. My opinion is completely irrelevant if the person likes it. So if you get it and you like it, that's all that matters. How long until you can change the jewellery? It's recommended to be about 6 weeks, but I did it at 4. It was a little bit sore to change, so probably wait a bit longer. And don't change it too much in the early period. When did it stop hurting? Maybe around a month, there was like no pain involved if it moved or anything, but the initial pain from getting it pierced went in like 2 days. I'm getting mine done soon and I'm not great with pain. How painful would you say it is? Yeah, it's really not bad. Don't worry about it. If you're wanting to get it done, I say just go for it. Just make sure you go to a really good, reputable piercer, because if it gets done in the wrong place and it goes through cartilage, that will really, really hurt. Does it ever randomly get stiff when moving the ring around? Mine's healed and this happens. Yes, it does happen. If I move it a lot, or if I've changed it a few times, it does just tend to like get dried out and it doesn't move as easily. I find it quite easy to fix. If it's stiff, I just spray saline on it and it moves again. How easy was it to flip up, first of all? Well, I waited a little bit longer than they said you need to, because I still found it uncomfortable, and now I actually tightened the horseshoe to make it like closer together, so I can't flip it up anymore. It just like goes halfway up and then it just sits there. But if you have a little bit of a wider horseshoe like I originally had, you can put it up easily. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I recommend just spray some saline on it and then that should loosen it up a little bit. Do you regret having it or do you love it? No, I absolutely love it. It's my favourite piercing. Sometimes I prefer to wear like more dainty stuff and I just prefer a little bit more of a subtle look, but I don't ever regret it. Do you think you'll ever take it out? Probably at some point, but not anytime soon. Is it comfortable when flipped up? I don't personally like how it feels when it's flipped up, because you can kind of feel it up your nose, so it's definitely more comfortable flipped down, but if you needed to flip it up, I think you'd get used to the feeling. I haven't left it up for a long period of time before. My mum hates septum piercings. I've wanted one since I was 13 and I'm currently 18. Help. If you're 18, I don't know where you live, but you should be able to get it without her permission, so I say just go for it. You're an adult now. Does it hurt to move it? No, not at all. It moves super easy. I just play about with it sometimes. I do this as well. It doesn't hurt to move at all. Final one I'll answer is, what size jewellery do I wear? I tend to wear 10mm. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy it, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know if you want to see a video about any of my other piercings, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Goodbye.